vlog. So I have a lot of exciting reading plans for this vlog, and I'm really hoping that I have at least 3 5-star books in this vlog, which is awesome because so far this year I haven't really given any books 5 stars. I'm trying to think of any books that weren't rereads that I did give 5 stars to. And I think I like toyed with giving Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood 5 stars, but that's more of a 4-star, 4.25 star read for me. So unless that I'm like really forgetting one, which would be kind of hilarious, I haven't given a book that wasn't a reread 5 stars this year. So I do have a lot of really exciting books because most of these, actually all of these in this vlog, are going to be some of my most anticipated releases of the year. So the book that I'm going to start with is A Grave Robbery by Deanna Raybourn, which is the newest Veronica Speedwell mystery series book. I absolutely love this series. If you haven't read it yet and you at least like historical fiction, like maybe not even like that's not your genre, that's not my genre, I know that for sure, but if you at least like don't hate it, I would recommend it. I think that it is some of the funniest, like, wit and humor. The characters are like my favorite thing about it. Veronica and Stoker, I love them so much. The mysteries are really fun. I just love the series so much. I cannot speak highly enough about it. It's a 5-star series for me. Not every book is 5 stars, but the series as a whole gives me that 5-star feeling, and I just love it so much. So I'm going to start off with A Grave Robbery, which I am anticipating being one of my 5-star reads. I don't have the physical copy because it only comes out in hardcover, and I have the rest of the series in paperback. So I'll be waiting for the paperback to come out so I can get a physical copy of it. But I do have the audiobook, and I love the narrator for this. Angel Masters is her name, and she just does such a good job, and I just love it so much. So I'll be starting with that one. And then I'm going to be picking up Empire of the Damned by Jay Kristoff, which I have been highly anticipating for years. I just did my reread of Empire of the Vampire, and I'm so ready to dive into this one. This is also one of my 5-star predictions for this vlog. I love Empire of the Vampire. It's one of the best books that I've ever read, one of my favorite books of all time, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen because the story just captivates me and it's so intriguing. And oh, we've got a new map. Love that for me. Oh my god, I just can't wait. And I think actually, if I'm looking at this, I think he does kind of like a recap a little bit of what happened in the first book, so love that. I did also film a recap for Empire of the Vampire, which I'm going to be posting soon. I'm starting the series on my channel now where I recap books before like the sequels come out, or like around when the sequels come out. So I did a recap of Empire of the Vampire because I just freshly reread it, and I did like a super in-depth thing. And like honestly, I hope it helps some of you, or I hope that you find it interesting, but the videos themselves are really for me for when the sequel comes out and I can like refresh my memory on what happened without having to reread everything. Like if those videos don't get a lot of views, I'm okay with that because really they're for me. So anyways, I'll be picking this one up. I also never got to Bride by Ali Hazelwood, which is one of my anticipated releases because I love Ali Hazelwood's books. I love all of her novels. I've given them 4 and 5 stars, and I just really love her writing. This is a little bit different for her though because it is a paranormal romance following a vampire and a werewolf. I think it's got some Omegaverse like sprinkled in. I'm nervous about it, but I trust Ali Hazelwood, so I'm hoping that I like it. Also, another anticipated release that I haven't gotten to yet is Emily Wilde's Map to the Other Lands by Heather Fawcett. So the first one is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which I really loved that one last year, and I was highly anticipating this one. I finally got my copy because I could finally find the international paperback edition. I'm a paperback bitch, if you didn't know, and most of the time books will come out in hardcover first, and then a year later they'll come out in paperback, and I don't want to have to buy the hardcover to only have it for a year just to replace it with the paperback. But I got the international paperback edition, which is the cover that the US editions are, which is the ones I like. I like the other ones too, but I like the darker ones better. Anyways, that was a long story just to tell you that I'm going to be reading this book because now I have a physical copy of it. And then also in this video, Abby Jimenez has a book coming out right away at the beginning of the month, April 2nd. It's called Just for the Summer. And her 2 most recent romances, I gave both of them 5 stars, and they're like some of my favorite romances of all time. So I'm highly anticipating this one. I will be going to the store to pick that one up. So we'll do that in this vlog as well. There's also just a lot of other anticipated releases that are coming out this month, so if I can fit them into this vlog, if this vlog starts getting too long, I'll just do another anticipated releases vlog. But The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo is coming out, Wild Love by Elsie Silver is coming out, A Promise of Peridot by Kate Golden is coming out, Funny Story by Emily Henry is coming out at the end of the month. Just lots and lots of anticipated releases that I am so excited for. So that is it for my rambly intro and my little TBR for this vlog. So I'm gonna go get to reading, and I will see you in my next update. So I uploaded a video this morning that was my last Realmathon reading vlog, and it's like a cute little cozy one because I go to these like cute little bookstores and stuff, and I included some clips of me shopping at the bookstore, and I didn't realize that one of the clips for some reason like flipped upside down. So I'm like browsing books like upside down, and Lachlan thought that I did it on purpose to be like funny, and she was like, oh my god, that made me laugh so hard, and I was like, what are you talking about? And I go and look, and I was like, what even is this? So I go and like double check, look in iMovie, and it's perfectly normal. For some reason, when I rendered it, like download it from iMovie so that I could upload it to YouTube, it just must have glitched for just that one clip that's like 30 seconds or less, and flipped it upside down. So anyways, I was like, I just can't I can't leave that on the internet. So I privated that video, and then I re-rendered the video because I was like, we'll just see if it does it again, then it's something like corrupted with that clip. So I'll either just like have to delete that clip and like edit it out, or I don't know. But it was fine the second time, so I'm like, I didn't do anything different this time compared to last time. So now I'm uploading it again to YouTube. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everything is normal. But yeah, so weird. If you watched that vlog and you were like, this random ass upside down clip, what is that about? Just pretend you didn't see that. Okay, it's the next day, same outfit, but I swear it's just a different day. So my spring break ended, and I was back at work today, and guess what? It decided to snow. I'm literally in a winter storm watch right now, and it's like a lot of snow. It's probably as much snow as we had, or like the fall of the snow is like as heavy as it's been all winter, and it's literally April now. So the worst part about it is that I was so excited for winter this past year. Like, I wanted a super white Christmas, and I was really excited for the snow. I was excited for it to be cold so then I could go ice skating like out on the lakes and stuff. I only got to go ice skating one time this winter because it was too warm and the ice on the lakes and stuff was not safe to go out on. But yeah, now it's like really coming down like thick snowflakes. I was like, at first it was snowing when I was like on my bus duty at school at the end of the day, where I'm like, I stand out there with a walkie-talkie by the buses, whatever. And I was like, oh, it's not gonna stick. So I'm like watching it like all melt as soon as it hits the ground. And by the time I got home, we have like an inch. Like, it's puffy snow, so it's not like an actual inch, but like still. Anyways, that's not what I came on here to talk about. I came on here to talk about A Grave Robbery. I decided to get the Kindle edition because I love the audiobook, but I also really like following along with it. And since I chose not to get the hardcover this time, I was like, I'll just get the Kindle edition. So I'm like 135 pages or something like that into A Grave Robbery. So I'm like a third of the way into it. Absolutely loving it. Like, could potentially be one of my favorites like in the series so far. I'm just so excited about that. I know I say it like 1,000 times anytime I talk about these books, but like the characters are just my favorite thing. Veronica and Stoker, and the way they interact is just my favorite thing about it, and I'm just having a good time. the side characters are really good, and it's just, I don't know, it's just so much fun, and I'm absolutely loving it. So I wanted to give an update like before I finished it, because I didn't want to just be like, hey, I started this book and then hey, I finished it. So I wanted to give like kind of a midway check-in, even though I'm not like midway through it, but suffice to say, I'm absolutely loving it. Hello. So I finished A Grave Robbery last night and I had the best time with it. I just love Veronica and Stoker so much. I know that I've said that and I'm like a broken record. I've said it 100 times and I'll say it 100 more because it's so true. And like them in this book rivaled like a Dangerous Collaboration, which is the 4th book, which is my favorite in the series. I still think that one's my favorite in the series, but this is like a really close second. I loved it so much and I gave it 5 stars. It was phenomenal. And it has like the grave robbery aspect, obviously, because it's called a grave robbery, but it also had like a little bit of like a Frankenstein kind of storyline going on. Yeah, it was just a really fun time. So I can't wait for the next one already. And there were things when I was reading it where I'm like, man, I wish I was annotating this, because what a line, especially like Stoker's lines in this book. And there were just certain scenes where I was like, I love them. So yeah, I finished that last night, and then today I started Empire of the Damned by J. Kristoff, and I am already on book 2. It's like told in books, right? Like this is the 2nd book, this is the sequel, but like this first part is book 1, and I'm on book 2 now, so I'm on page 143, and also really loving this. It basically picks up right where Empire of the Vampire left off, which is what I like. I hate it when it's like 2 or 3 months goes by and now here we are. Like, that's not that I hate it, it's just like I prefer it where it's like we're right back from the moment that the last book ended. That's where this one starts. We're there. I love it. So yeah, I don't want to talk too much about like what is going on in this one, obviously, because it's the sequel and I don't want to spoil anything, but I will have a recap video with all spoilers for Empire of the Vampire. If you haven't picked this one up and you just want to like refresh your memory, I do have that video. It should be up already before this vlog goes up. And then Jay Kristoff also does this thing at the beginning of his books where he gives you like a little bit of a recap. Mostly it's just like a list of characters' names and like why they're important and what happened in the first book. So it kind of like jogs your memory a little bit. But other than that, I don't have like a ton to update on really, because I'm just going to continue reading Empire of the Damned. I would love if I could get halfway. That would be like 200 more pages. That's not gonna happen. Well, I would love it if I could get to the 300 page mark, or at least close to it. So we'll see. But yeah, so far the anticipated releases are giving me everything that I wanted them to give me, and I'm really, really happy about that. My TBR that I talked about at the beginning, or like in the beginning clip, might change a little bit because I wanted to read A Dawn of Onyx and do a recap video on that one before the second book comes out, and that comes out next Tuesday. So if I finish Empire of the Damned, I might try to pick up A Dawn of Onyx right after that. And then A Promise of Peridot. I have so many like lofty reading plans right now. I need to just relax and just focus on what I'm actually currently reading. So I'm gonna get back to reading this beautiful book, and yeah, that's it. That's the update. All right, hello team. It is Friday now, and I have a bit of an update. So I'm on page 371 in Empire of the Damned. I am officially on book 4 now, and some things are happening. We have something quite interesting about this book that I was not, in fact, expecting. But I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to spoil anything. I would consider it a spoiler, so. But I'm absolutely loving this. I love where the story is like headed, or like what's going on in the story at this point in time. And I will say though, this one feels quite a bit more gory than Empire of the Vampire. Like Empire of the Vampire does have like some gore, right? Which I feel like is typical of adult vampire fantasy books. But this one, I just like, there are some things where I'm like, I am picturing this too well in my head, and it's quite disturbing. It's not like making me squeamish or anything like that, but definitely if I was to watch this in a movie, I would have to look away from the screen. Like I couldn't handle looking at it. But in a book, it's just something that I've noticed. Like it's a bit more gory. So there's that. Anyways, but I am over the halfway mark now, and it's the weekend, and I'm excited to go read some more. Brandon is going fishing with his dad, so I have lots of alone time and free time, and I am going to choose to fill that with some escape into a bloody fantasy world here. I'm gonna go like shower, get in my jammies, get like a reading ambiance up on the TV, and then like snuggle up under my coziest blanket, and then I am gonna eat dinner first, and then I'm gonna read for the rest of the night. I have no other plans apart from reading this book. I do have to do laundry and stuff like that on the dishwasher, but like that's not the point, okay? I want to go read Empire of the Damned. So hopefully, I don't think I'll be able to finish this tonight, because like even though it doesn't look like that much, it's quite a bit, and it's like 6 hours left of the audiobook, and that's at 2x speed. Should for sure be able to finish this tomorrow though, and then I've been taking notes as I'm reading it so that I can film a recap video for this, and like nobody's gonna need the recap video for right now, unless of course they don't care to read this book and they just want to know what happens and want all the spoilers. But mostly that recap video is going to be for when the third book comes out, so I can go back and watch my Empire of the Vampire and Empire of the Damned recap videos. So they'll be more useful in the future, but I'm still going to film it now while everything is still fresh in my head. And also I need to take notes on Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cicerelli, because I feel like this is another one where I'm gonna want to go back and like get like a little bit of a refresh on what happened in this one before the sequel comes out, and the sequel doesn't come out until next year, so we're gonna be doing that. And then I need to do that same exact thing with A Dawn of Onyx by Kate Golden, except I'm going to actually reread that book and then take notes on it. I'm excited about this new little series that I'm starting on my channel of like recapping books so that when the sequel comes out and it's been a year since you've read the last book, you can just get like a little refresh on it. So yeah, I'm gonna go do all of those things that I said I was gonna do so that I can read more of Empire of the Damned and hopefully make like at least, let's see, what page did I say I'm on? 371. Let's get to the 500 page mark tonight. 550 would be even better. I just finished reading Empire of the Damned. Holy shit. Okay. When I read Empire of the Vampire for the first time, I felt like it was such a privilege to read that book. Like, how lucky that I was able to read a brilliant book like that. And that's kind of how I feel after finishing this one. I'm just like, what an absolute masterpiece. Like, when I say that this series, these two books, are some of the best books that I've ever read, I genuinely mean like that. That is, I am tongue-tied because of how just in awe I am. How much I loved this book and like how brilliant it is. It's bloody brilliant, okay? It's an absolute masterpiece. The ending to the last 100 pages, it was like hit after hit after hit and like reveal after reveal after reveal. And I was just like, I can't believe all this stuff is happening. I'm just like, I probably should have waited a little bit longer to film this update so that I could maybe form some coherent thoughts, because I can't even believe it. Like, this is such an amazing fantasy book. Like, if you haven't read this series and you love fantasy, read this series. Read it. I can't even... need to find somebody who has finished this so that I can talk to them about it. I'm gonna check with Lachlan because I know that she started it. I don't know where she is in it though. I don't know if she finished it. Maybe Melody has read it. My friend Nate, I was just texting him, and I don't think he's even started it yet, but I think he's gonna start it soon. But I was like, if I have to wait 3 years for the next book, I will simply fling myself into the sun. And he was like, wow, what an endorsement for a book. And I was like, I can't wait 3 years again. I don't even know how I waited 3 years from Empire of the Vampire to now. But now it's so good. It's so good. It's so well crafted. And like, just the storytelling of it all and like the things that happen in it. I thought this was way more brutal and like gory and bloody than Empire of the Vampire. That one is also gory and violent and brutal, but this one was like increased. It really amped up, on the violence. And I can't talk about it too much. Like, I can't say like the things that like blew me out of the fucking water because it's spoilers. Obviously, this is the second book, and like things that I want to talk about are things that happened in the last 100 pages of this book. But yeah, I would feel like an absolute fool if I were to give this anything less than 5 stars. It's just so incredible, and I just feel so lucky and so privileged to have read a book this good that is just, it's just so brilliant. Like, Jay Kristoff, like, just so much talent. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I hope that if you haven't read this, you are at least intrigued to go give it a shot, because it's just amazing. I cannot speak highly enough about it. It's so good. Yeah, so now I'm gonna go, I've got my notes here for like filming the recap of this, and I think I'm literally just gonna go film the recap video today while everything is still like super fresh in my head. Because I know I'm gonna have to wait a long time for the next book, and I just feel like that recap is gonna be really valuable for me in the future, and hopefully for others as well. I'm gonna post it like soon. I just love it. This vlog is just going really, really well for me, because I did say like I wanted to get some 5-star books for the year, because I haven't really had any 5-star books yet, and the 2 books that I've read so far in this vlog have been absolute bangers. I'm just so happy. I'm so happy. And I just love reading. I just love it. I did also work on my Heartless Hunter notes to film a recap for that one, because I feel like that's going to be really helpful by the time that the second book comes out. So maybe I'll go film both of those. Who knows? But I don't know what I'm going to pick up next. I do know that, because like, how do I follow that up? I definitely want a fantasy next. So I kind of want like another like epic brutal fantasy though, and not so much like a fantasy romance, but at the same time like I kind of do want a fantasy romance. My reading plans are just gonna be like all over the place. All of the like TBRs and things that I said I wanted to read, like who even knows anymore, because now I'm like, should I just go to Barnes and Noble and pick up like another epic brutal fantasy book? Or I could start my reread of Adana Vonix, because the sequel comes out next week. And I did want to reread that one and film a recap video for that as well. And I have Adana Vonix right now. I wouldn't have to go anywhere. And literally I could start that tonight. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I do know this. That was amazing. And it's going to be hard to follow that up. Now that I've gushed for a little while, I've got a couple things to unbox here, and I don't believe any of it is bookish, but let's unbox it anyway. So these two things are for my phone. My phone case is like starting to fall apart a bit, and I ordered a new phone case, but then I also ordered a new pop socket, which is like this little green guy, because my phone is like a dark green, and the case itself is clear. So, and it's got little stars and stuff. So yeah, the phone case is just very basic, nothing too crazy, and then the pop socket. Okay, lots of stuff in this one. I've got a small little lotion. So this is, I don't even know, I think I included it in a vlog a while ago, but I got this like very fancy like jar of lotion that like smelled like summertime. I can't remember the name or how to pronounce the name, but I go through lotion really quickly because my skin is super dry. So I ordered something to kind of like use in between, so I don't use the very luxurious expensive lotion on the daily, but this is just like a cocoa butter lotion. Oh yeah, that smells nice. Okay, anyway, also more poop bags for Ellie, and then some little mini beauty blenders things. These like little teeny little guys, little beauty sponges. So there's the non-bookish, not super thrilling, exciting haul. So yeah, now I'm gonna just go film my Empire of the Damned recap video and just ponder, if I'm being honest. I'm just gonna stew in my emotions about that book, and then hopefully I will be able to make a decision on what I want to read next, and I will come back to you with that information once I have it. Okay, hello everyone. I have some updates. Let's see, what was the last thing that I updated about? Was it when I finished Empire of the Damned? I think so. So since then, I have decided to pick up a new hobby, and I've started 2 new books. Let's talk about it. Okay, so new hobby. So I was at Goodwill, and I happened to stumble across this, which is a brand new, unopened crochet kit, which, like, I don't crochet. I don't know how to crochet. I know how to knit. I don't knit, though. I haven't knitted in years. So honestly, I've probably forgotten how. But this is a $13 kit, and it was only $4 at Goodwill. And I picked it up, and I thought I could learn to crochet. Mostly, I've been inspired by Kara from Kara's Bookshelf. If you haven't subscribed to her channel, obviously you need to go do that. I'll leave her link down below. But in her most recent vlog, she was like crocheting, I almost said knitting. She was crocheting her genre blanket, which is a thing that I know a lot of people do. I know Kara is doing it. I know Sahar is doing it. Basically, you like knit a row or a couple of rows, and the color of the yarn specifies like what genre book that was, and then you just like keep adding rows for every book that you read, and then at the end of the year you have a blanket. And I was like, what a lovely little idea. And so on a whim, I decided to buy this little kit and learn how to crochet. So that's the story. I went to this little place in my town, but the yarn selection was very, very small, and I didn't really like any of the yarn that they had or any of the colors or anything. And I was like, no, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna commit. And so that's exactly what I did. I got this adorable little basket to put all my yarn in. Isn't it cute? And then I bought a ton of yarn. So I'm gonna try to catch up on the books that I've read so far and make a genre blanket. So the yarn that I picked out is from the Yarn Bee. Very cute. This light blue I'm gonna use as my fantasy romance genre color. Just the regular blue, the darker blue is fantasy. I got green for any fanfics that I read, which I know fanfics is not like a genre, but I don't care. This purple is literary fiction. Gray is for historical. This like yellow is for magical realism. Pink for romance. Red for thriller mysteries. I got an orange for miscellaneous. And then I have this cream color for separating like the months, which I think is cool. So these are my colors. I don't know I don't know how to hold them so you can see all of them together, but I really like how they all look together. I hope that it looks okay. Like I'm not sure how many rows of each color I'm gonna count for one book. I have to just even learn how to crochet. Like I literally don't even know how to crochet. I just got excited. So anyways, watch me end up hating it, and then I bought all this stuff for nothing. It could happen. I've definitely picked up hobbies and been like really into that hobby for like a month or two and then move on to the next thing. So hopefully that doesn't happen. While I was out shopping tonight though, I did go book shopping as well. I picked up 2 books too, which was pretty fun. So I went to Half Price Books, and this isn't a used book, but I did find 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole, which I absolutely adored this book when I read it the first time. I have the like self-published version of this. This was picked up by Bloom Books, but I really like the feel of this one. It's like that buttery matte feeling. The other one I have is like a shiny, squeaky kind of cover. And I annotated in that other cover, and it was not my best work. I am embarrassed to even show it because it's like I didn't use a ruler at all, so like my underlining was like all wonky, and the pen I used like skipped, so there's, I don't know, it just doesn't look good at all. So when I saw this, I was like, you know what, let me just get this, and then I'll go through and annotate this copy and do a much better job of it than what I did in that poor book. plus I had a gift certificate, so I didn't even have to pay for this. And I also picked up the new Abby Jimenez just for the summer, so I went to Barnes & Noble to get this one because Half Price Books didn't have it. Sometimes they have like new releases, but they didn't have this one. But I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. No idea what that even means. I love this cover, like, and all the colors that are used, but I absolutely adore the last two books that Abby Jimenez has published. Part of Your World and Yours Truly are some of my favorite romances of all time. Yours Truly, that book hit me deep. I've never seen better anxiety rep in any book that I've ever read, so that was really nice. So I was highly anticipating this one. Yeah, I got this. And I also had a gift card for this, so I didn't have to pay for either of these books. Anyways, moving into the books that I started reading. So I decided to give a second chance to When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. So I read this, when was that? I don't even know. Earlier this year at some point. I read this, got to like 100 pages in and DNF'd it. But I felt like it was a right book, wrong time situation where like I could like this. I'm just reading it at the wrong time. So I DNF'd it. But then I was like, you know what, let me get the physical copy. I started it over. I'm on page 76. I do think I am enjoying it more this time. However, I'm not like loving it. But to be fair, I'm only 76 pages in. So I'm going to give it more than 100 pages this time because I really do think that I can love this. But we shall see. So 76 pages into that one. And then driving to go pick up my yarn, I popped in an audiobook. And I started listening to Bride by Allie Hazelwood, which I was super nervous about because it's like a light Omegaverse kind of thing, I know. But it is a vampire werewolf arranged marriage. And I love all of Allie Hazelwood's other novels. So I'm like, you know what? I've got to read this. I'm about 100 pages in, and so far I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a good time. I just really like how Allie Hazelwood writes. I do really like how she's writing like vampires and werewolves in this like modern day setting. But yeah, I'm only 100 pages in, so all I can really say about it is that I am enjoying it so far. I don't foresee this being a 5-star read, but I'm enjoying it. I'm having a fun time with it. So I'm probably gonna go continue reading this one for the night. I don't think I'm gonna be able to start my genre blanket tonight because I spent so much time shopping for the yarns, but that's okay because I still have to learn how to do it. Like, I don't even know. I have to figure out how many rows I want to do for each book. I've got to plan it all out. So I'm gonna go do some research on crocheting and see, because I want like a pretty big blanket, not just like a lap blanket. Like I want one that I can like wrap around in, you know? So I'm gonna go figure out all of that stuff, and then I'm gonna go listen to more of Bride because I'm really enjoying it. Hello, I have some updates for you. So first update is about my genre blanket. So I have quite the start here. It looks kind of like a little worm right now, just because of like the color and the thinness of it so far. But I just started my, I just started my 4th row. So I'm doing 2 rows per book. So this will be my last row of pink, and then I'll get to change to a new color, which is pretty exciting. So I've got a good start, and it's not that difficult. I really like it. It's really fun, so I'm having a good time with it. That's my update on that. Reading updates now. Last I talked to you, I believe that I was reading Bride, and just at the beginning of Bride by Ali Hazelwood, and I've since finished it. I really enjoyed this one. I should never have doubted Ali Hazelwood because she's one of my favorite romance authors. I've loved all of her novels, and this was just a really fun time. It was vampires, werewolves. I really liked the vampire werewolf aspect of it. And like the arranged marriage was really fun because like technically they're enemies to lovers, but they don't act like enemies. Like they don't hate each other. They get along pretty well. So it's like technically their people are enemies. Like vampires and werewolves are like enemies basically, with like this tenuous, you know, allyship, but they don't act like enemies. So it's not an enemies to lovers book. It's an arranged marriage book. But yeah, I did really enjoy it, and the things that I was like, I'm a little skeptical about this, ended up, like, they were fine. It was fine. I just had a really fun time with this one. There were a lot of moments where I was just, like, grinning at the page, and I was sending Mel all these messages of, like, just screenshots of the page and, like, me melting because it was just so cute. So yeah, this was a really fun time. I really enjoyed that. And then I decided to start another one of my anticipated releases of the year, which is Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands by Heather Fawcett. So this is the second book to Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which I read last year, and I absolutely loved it. So I've been anticipating this one, and I just hadn't had the chance to pick it up yet. So I did start this one today. I'm only 80 pages in, so not very far in, but still quite enjoying it. It's just everything that I loved about the first book is like just continuing on everything that I love in this book. So I'm just having a really fun time with it. And it seems like it's going to be kind of like a Veronica Speedwell situation where like you're following these characters, but each book they're going on like a different, like in Veronica Speedwell, it's following a different mystery. In this book, they're going on a different adventure. So that part is really fun, and I just really like Emily as a character, and I like Wendell as character, and like just their interactions are just really fun. I'll probably end up putting in the audiobook for this while I keep crocheting for the night. Those are my reading updates, but I do also have 2 packages to unbox, so figured we could open those on here. Let's open the Amazon one first. So this is also a new release. So many new releases in the first quarter of 2024. So this is A Promise of Peridot by Kate Golden, which is the second book in the Sacred Stones series. I keep fumbling over my words. First book is A Dawn of Onyx. I gave it 5 stars. It's one of my favorite fantasy romances, and this is book 2. Book 3 comes out later this year, I think in like October maybe. So I was originally going to do a reread of A Dawn of Onyx and then read A Promise of Peridot and do like a recap video for it, but now I'm thinking I'm gonna stick to what my original plan was, which was to save this one and then binge read them when the third book comes out, because there's only going to be 3 books. That's the plan for now. Could change, who knows? I could change my mind and decide, you know what? No, I'm definitely going to read it. But first, I would need to reread A Dawn of Onyx. So, who knows? But as of right now, I'm planning to just save that one for later. And I also have a fun little Pango Books order. Okay, so this is kind of a silly little purchase. The nostalgia got the best of me. So I bought 3 Frog and Toad books. I used to read these when I was a little kid, and I saw like some comic of them, like, or some page, there was some page that popped up of Frog and Toad, and it was like of Frog and Toad on my Instagram, and I was like, oh, I remember Frog and Toad. I loved Frog and Toad. And so I was like, you know what? It's been so long. It's been so long since I've read Frog and Toad, and I used to just love them so much. The cookies, oh my god. And just like the graphics are just so cute. It's literally just a frog and a toad who are best friends, and it's just so cute. So yeah, I have Frog and Toad Together, Frog and Toad Are Friends, and Frog and Toad All Year. I'm not sure if there's any more. I'd have to look it up, honestly. But I just saw this bundle on Pango Books, and I was like, you know what? I'm getting them. Anyway, that's that. That was a pretty exciting unboxing for me. I don't know about for you, but I'm thrilled. So yeah, now I'm gonna go read some more of Emily Wilde and crochet some more and hopefully get to my next color. I'm sure I will, because now I'm like cruising along. So I've got it all planned out and I'm gonna try to catch up to where I'm at now, because I've read 27 books so far this year, and so far I have one more row to go to complete 2 books. So I've got a ways to go. I've got to catch up on the blanket, but I'm nothing if not determined. So I'm gonna go do that, and I will see you in my next update. All right, hello everyone. It is Friday night now, and I've made quite a bit of progress into Emily Wilde. I am, let's see, this isn't even accurate. Let me see which page I'm at. So I'm on page 296. I'm very, very close to the end. And I'm having so much fun with this. I have about 45 minutes left of listening time for the audiobook, I believe. Like 50 pages left. So I am going to finish this tonight on my first Patreon reading sprints. I'm really excited. I'm also kind of nervous that nobody's going to show up, even though I know some people have already said that they're going to be there, but I don't know, just in my head about it, but I'm really excited. If you want to be a part of my Patreon, I will leave all that information linked down below, but we're going to do our reading sprints tonight. So I'm going to finish this one on probably those first sprints. And while I listen to the audiobook, I'm going to continue crocheting. I wanted to give you an update on my blanket. So here's what it's looking like. It's actually, it's so cute, like with the stripes and stuff. But I know for a fact that I am not, like, a good crocheter because, like, well, this end doesn't, yeah, this end is uneven. Like, I didn't count the stitches at all, which I believe you're supposed to, but I did not. Like, this end completely, it's so wavy. But at this point, I'm like, I'm not going back now. It's just gonna be, this is my first project, so it's okay if there's some mistakes. I think it's kind of fun and silly. But I'm really happy with how it's turning out, and I'm really, really enjoying crocheting. I just like want to do it all the time now. So I'm on my last color for January's books, and then I didn't read anything in February. So all I will do is like the month change row, and then I'll already be on like my March books. So I'm hoping I can make some more progress on this tonight. And then I am free as a bird all weekend because Brandon is gone. He went to a bachelor party. He's gone for the weekend. So I've got the house to myself. So I'm going to do lots of reading and lots of crocheting. Like I said, will probably finish this one in my first sprints. I'm just really enjoying it, and I'm just excited to see how it's going to end. I know there's going to be a 3rd book, so I just love how Heather Fawcett writes about fairies, and like specifically how Emily talks about fairies. It's like very scholarly, obviously, because Emily is a professor of dryadology, which is the study of fairies. I almost said butterflies because I'm used to saying that for Lepidoptery for Veronica Speedwell. But yeah, it's just interesting to hear about all the different types of fairies and like the way that she describes like the whimsical aspect of being like in a fairy world. Like, you know, there was a fairy that had freckles, but each freckle was like a different leaf pattern and stuff. And just, I don't know, it's just like exactly what I love about reading like magical realism fairy books. So yeah, I'm just having a really good time, and I'm gonna finish on the first sprint. And then after that, I'm going to be wrapping this vlog up tonight, like wherever I'm at. I could continue to listen to audiobooks so I could crochet, and I am currently rereading Goblet of Fire. I'm still at the very beginning of it though. I'm only like 100 pages in, so just continue my reread of this and just listen to audiobooks and crochet for the rest of the night. But I do have to start reading Chasing the Sun because I'm doing a like book club buddy read for this fanfic. So I need to get on this because this is a 2-volume one. So like this is just the first volume, and it's almost 600 pages, and then the other volume is just as big. So I need to make some headway into this. So if I decide to start this one tonight, I won't be able to crochet at all, but hopefully I can make some progress if I do decide to start this. Otherwise, I'll start this tomorrow. So those are the reading plans for the evening. My reading sprints start in about 45 minutes. So I'm gonna go finish doing like a couple little errands and stuff and get all set up and ready to go for that. And I will see you in my next update. Alright, hello everyone. It is the next day now, and I had my reading sprints last night on Patreon, and it was really fun. I had people show up, so I didn't need to be nervous, even though I still was. Like, I don't know, I always get nervous right before reading sprints, even though I've done them, like, plenty of times that I shouldn't be. But I just think, like, the fact that I'm, like, live and I can't edit out any stupid things I say and then like I'm by myself, so like I have to keep the conversation rolling, but it was fine. I had a lot of fun, and I just want to thank all of my patrons that came to those reading sprints because it was just really fun to read with everybody. I did finish Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands in that first sprint, and I just really enjoyed this. Like, the way that fairies are talked about and like fairy folklore and the settings that are described. We get to go see different parts of like the fairy world. I just really like how descriptive Heather Fawcett is when she writes about this stuff. I like actually do feel like I'm learning about fairies throughout this series, and I really liked the adventure and the plot in this one. I think I liked the adventure more in this one than I did in the first book, and I did really enjoy the first book. I do like the build up between Emily and Wendell more in the first one, but their interactions in this one were just as lovely. Not as much Wendell in this as I might have wanted, but I still really loved all the little bits and pieces that we got. But yeah, we got to explore a lot more of like the fairy world and learn about different fairies and stuff, and we get to see one of my favorite characters from the first book was Poe, and he makes an appearance again in this one. The magic, I don't know, it's just like such a cozy, whimsical like fairy time, and I just absolutely love that. And I love it when, I think I talked about this last night, I love it when a series has, like, each book has, like, a plot that will wrap up by the end, but then there's an overarching plot that connects all the books together, so it's not, like, just a, you know, random standalone book. Because that's what Veronica Speedwell does, and it's, like, each book has its own mystery that will wrap up in that book, but there's still, like, an overarching plot line to it all, like, that connects them all, and then, of course, the characters. And that's what I love about this one, so I'm really excited that this seems to be, like, a series that's going to be ongoing for a while. At least I hope so. I know the third book is scheduled to come out next February, and I'm just really excited about that one because I just had so much fun with this one. I had so much fun with the first one, and I just absolutely love this series. So if you haven't picked this one up yet and you liked the first book, or if you haven't picked the series up yet, definitely give it a shot because it's so good. After that, I think I'd only read like one chapter from Goblet of Fire because on the second sprints I was a bit distracted and I didn't read anything, and then I only did 3 sprints. So on the third sprint I listened to the audiobook for that and continued to crochet my blanket, which I didn't finish. I said I wanted to get all 8 rows of my light blue color done, but I've got 6, so I'm going to finish the other 2 today. But yeah, I really like the color pattern, like the color scheme, and I think it's turning out pretty well. Like, I'm proud of this, even though my edges are kind of wavy. It's okay. It's my first project, so I'm not that worried about it, but I do really like how it's like all coming together. And I know it looks like a scarf right now, but I think that once it gets like thicker and thicker, it's gonna, obviously it'll start to look more like a blanket. But I'm just really excited to see it when it all comes together. So yeah, that was basically my update for the night. I am gonna wrap up the vlog here, and I'm literally just gonna start a new vlog right away today. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I had so many amazing books that I read, and I got to a lot of my anticipated releases of the year. I read 2 5-star books and 2 4-star books that I had a lot of fun with. So it was a very successful reading vlog. I'm very happy about that. It was just such a good time. So I hope that you enjoyed as well, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all of my patrons over on Patreon for supporting me over there. If you wanted more content from me, you can check out the link down in my description down below. But thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!